and let's get into it. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe.
My name is Mark Leda, and I produce the videos that you see on my channel, Soft White Underbelly.
Mark gets into people's stories, those living on the fringes, drug addicts, prostitutes, gang members. You shot thousands of videos. You're super prolific.
4,000 so far.
4,000, okay.
I spent most of my career helping wealthy corporations become even wealthier. I wanted to do something
Mark Leda has done 4,000 interviews.
that mattered more in the world. Amanda, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Do you see that you're kind of getting worse and worse every time we speak? You're going to do whatever it takes to get your money for crack. So if your dad and I give you a little bit of cash. All right, so Lima Yamramovich. You have a company called Aura.
Amanda is the most difficult case. We're going to be documenting exactly how we're getting Amanda into treatment. The way that you get somebody that doesn't want to get help into treatment is through something called an LPS conservatorship. It feels like a betrayal to that person, but at the same time, Amanda's in a safe place now. She had passed away. It's been a really, really big shock for us.
When I was smoking, I'm like in the cut, and then I'm gonna get murdered. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm behind the scenes, I'm annoying everybody, and then I get murdered. And I don't wanna know.
So far, this is just like super like just, it's epic. Like just the beginning of it, it feels like a movie trailer, but like I was saying, this is like super suspenseful. Sorry about that. I had to go do something real quick, but yeah, it's just this is exciting. Just watching this video, whoever produced this, you did a good job, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happened to Amada Rabb because I've never heard of her, and this is interesting.
Girl close to my age doing my thoughts and video gaming me, so nah, I'm not feeling it.
Sometime in February, I was on the internet, definitely not minding my own business, and someone told me, this guy, you vaguely remember from your childhood, Bam Margera.
I'm Bam Margera.
An actor from Jackass.
And I feel like kicking my dad's ass all day today.
Is in a conservatorship.
So yeah, he's in a program, and the good thing is now is he's under a conservatorship.
And I went to the media.
The last person I'd left is Dr. Phil, or else I give up.
It was unidentified callers, whenever the callers were clearly identified.
I went there thinking I was going to do 30 days, but they insisted that I do 90 days.
You're not going to find anything in the media. And again, I had to go to the court document. Searched in Pinellas County, found and confirmed that Bam was in some type of conservatorship. It was sealed, but some information was available.
Having bipolar disorder, taking Adderall, none of those are reasons for conservatorship.
One of those things was the name Lima. As the petitioner. The petitioner on a conservatorship is usually the person who wants to be the conservator, but again, it was sealed, so we have no 100% way of knowing whether it was Lima. I can say with certainty now, Lima was his guardian in a Maricopa County conservatorship, so the next thing was Googling her to see if I could find any information out on her. One of the very first results that came up for Lima was her appearance on a YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly. Now this YouTube channel is run by a photographer called Mark Leda. Basically what I was able to figure out is he interviews people mainly in the Skid Row area. A lot of the people who he interviews are without homes. They often struggle with substance use issues, dependence, etc.
People say, oh, what you're doing is exploitive all the time. Look, a hotel, the hotel I'm staying at while I'm here in Tampa, they're exploiting my need to sleep. So the restaurant that I had breakfast at is exploiting my hunger. Everything is exploitive. Yes, they're exploitive. If I take a drug addict and I do an interview with her, she takes the hit because she's been made to look bad. No, I didn't trick her into doing that. She came to me, or I might have asked her and said, but I tell everybody right up front, like, this is going to be on YouTube. How much drug addiction can you actually watch? It's like, so but people love those. You put up an attractive female heroin addict, that'll get a lot of views. So it's all that. Let me just get this straight. The sun and the government will make me extra horny if I have sex with you?
Yes.
What are you doing tonight? I'm doing this for myself.
Now I kind of see what the commentator on my last video was saying, like, oh, Mark is this, Mark is that. But I honestly think that the way they're cutting this and editing this is trying to make him, like, they're trying to frame him into being a bad person. But from all the soft white underbelly videos that I've watched, Mark Leda, he's understanding, he cares, and he treats everyone like they're human. So, I mean, you can't hate on him and you can't say anything bad about him because unless he's done something to you and unless somebody from Soft White Underbelly on one of his videos came out and said something, that's the only time you can believe that. And even then, he does 4,000 interviews. You can't just say, oh, he's a bad person because he exploits people. That's his channel. And there's many channels where people are interviewing like people on the street but being very rude, and he's not rude. He's just an interviewer, and he's a photographer. So he just he does what he does what he can, and he helps people. He actually pays them to be on Software Underbelly. Most people go on the street and then they won't even give you anything. They'll just like record you and be like, "Oh, why are you on the street for?" It's like that doesn't make sense. It just that's exploiting people. But the fact that he's doing it to get other people to be educated on how it is in the streets and like what mistakes people made in their life and how to get better. I think that Software Underbelly's channel is very educational and it's helpful to a lot of people that watch this channel. And you just have to take what you can and then like kind of leave away like the other stuff. So in my opinion, I think that this video so far is trying to make Mark Leda look like a bad person. But I'm not sure if this is what it's about, but that's kind of what it feels like from watching this. Like I don't think Mark Leda actually said, "What are you doing tonight?" as in trying to imply that he's trying to be with her that night, because it just doesn't add up from what I've watched. So
I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not trying to make anybody happy. Some people say, oh, I hate these Appalachian people. Stop doing that. Get back to the drug addicts. And other people say these Appalachian things are great. That's all I watch. I don't give a fuck. I've been a photographer since I was 14. And I spent most of my career doing advertising work. So I'm basically helping wealthy corporations become even wealthier. And that became, I realized as I got older, that was my legacy, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. So I wanted to do something that mattered more in the world. It's not to help the addict that's outside my door, even though I've done that many times. I've spent, over the last 10 years, I've talked with about 1,000 people, and financially, I've probably spent $150,000. I've helped some addicts. That's a personal thing I do, has nothing to do with this channel. I'm just showing you some things that are wrong with the country.
And so Lima was on Mark Leda's channel.
I give the doctors the tools to see, so if you tell me you're fine, and I look and I can see that you're not fine, addicts are master manipulators.
And I was like, well, this is strange. Why is Bam Margera?
And I want to say, I did say this was by Soft White Underbelly, but this video is about Amada Rabb, about Lima, and it's about Soft White Underbelly, all in one video, but it's by BJ Investigates. So I just want to give credits to BJ Investigates because this is her channel's video.
Conservator on Mark Leda's channel talking about virtual reality.
We also use virtual reality so we can put patients in triggering environments.
So she talks about her company Aura, which is a digital health startup, but essentially what the startup does is uses virtual reality goggles on people with drug addiction. And I quickly discover that Lima and Mark had teamed up to help one of Mark's subjects. Lima ended up being in charge of this subject's life, and now this subject, whose name is Amada Rabb, was dead. I start looking into Lima, and turns out this is not her only and first startup. She had some company, at least one, maybe two. It seemed like the type of program you could do to shorten your jail time or something, and that's all I was able to tell factually. Now, what I can speculate is that Lima was looking for a targeted group of test subjects. And prisoners seem easy, right? Because she could have easily gotten government funding if she was helping prisoners. So that didn't work. I don't know why. That was just my assumption. And then you see Aura.
All right, so Lima Yavramovich. You have a company called Aura. And what do you guys do?
So we're all about data-driven healing. Our goal is to use technology to scale affordable, high-quality treatment services. We also use virtual reality so we can put patients in triggering environments. And you know, for example, we put a patient in a bar. Walking VIP, don't need no drink, take his buddy. Or for our veterans, we put them in a war zone. They're just not willing to let someone in, so you kind of have to find a way to gain their trust.
Lima kept mentioning a woman named Amanda.
Amanda is the most difficult case. We're going to be documenting exactly how we're getting Amanda into treatment.
Something else has happened with Amanda that kind of helped, right?
Yes.
She ended up in jail.
Exactly.
Once I figured out that there were like 15 or 16 different videos in this Amanda, Lima, Mark Leta series of events, I began to watch them in order. My first question was, well, who is this Amanda person Lima keeps referencing? Because I had never seen Soft White Underbelly before. I didn't watch the channel. So on December 14th, 2019, the first video of Amanda appears on Soft White Underbelly. She says a number of things in that first video. First of all, she off the bat calls her father a molester and says that is the reason why she had to move out from living with her father. Now, Amanda is introduced to us as a homeless prostitute, but she explains her homelessness situation in those first appearances on Soft White Underbelly.
No, I didn't have a mom growing up, so it was just me and my father. I had to move to my mom's family's house, so I grew up with them. I just went with them. It was just a better situation.
Any problems with that?
No.
Tell me about your family. You grew up with both of your parents?
Yeah, I grew up with my auntie and uncle. They took me in because I lived with my dad. He turned out to be a molester, so his wife left him.
She says she used to live with her father. She says her mother is dead. She says her father was a molester, so she moved in with her aunt and uncle. And now today, she could live with her father, who does have an apartment, but he's a molester. She says those things. Now, this is important because later on in this series of videos over the course of months and years, Amada Rabb's father would make an appearance as the savior of Amanda. During one such domicile situation, he attempted to put her in a conservatorship. Amanda does come across, just generally in these videos, to the average viewer, most likely as crazy, unhinged, very paranoid, rambling, and perhaps unable to share a reality, right, with the person she's talking to. But I went into watching Amanda's video.
I just want to say it's kind of sad when you come across people or you watch people that are really down on their luck right now and aren't in the best situations. It's just sad because the way she explained it, they're rambling, they're paranoid, they're like they seem crazy. It's just sad because that's reality, and you can't get through to that person. It's like you can't talk to that person and make them understand. Like it's like their mind isn't catching on to what's going on in the world. It's like detached from reality, and that's the sad part about it is you can't. There's no getting through to a person. They're gonna do what they want to do. They're not gonna listen to you. They're not gonna do anything of that sort. They're not gonna feel any feelings. Like they don't have feelings.
With a very open mind. I wanted to hear what she had to say, and it was traumatic and painful for me to even watch the videos. So I don't even pretend to know what it must have felt like for Amanda to be in these videos. But I mean, she talked a lot about things that people would immediately write someone off for talking about. She talked about there being electronic versions of herself running around Skid Row, which sounds crazy until you see that the treatment that she would later be subjected to against her will would be in fact a virtual reality version of Skid Row. She would have an avatar in the world, so there would be electronic versions of her running around Skid Row.
There's different me's running around here electronic, and I want to know who is doing that. What the fuck? You need to stop. Oh my God! When I was smoking, I'm like in the cut, and then I'm gonna get murdered. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm behind the scenes, I'm annoying everybody, and then I get murdered.
So over the course of the videos, Amanda appears several times and is interviewed. She becomes kind of a repeat player on the Soft White Underbelly channel, and each time she appears to be in slightly different physical condition. Now, it does appear as though Amanda's physical condition does get worse. She loses teeth, she seems to lose weight. Mark Laita begins to drop clues in his videos about his intervention in Amanda's life.
I feel uncomfortable. The guy videotaping me right now is making me feel like he regrets helping me right now. So
I don't regret helping you.
yeah.
I would love to help you. You're lucky to have the dad you do.
Yeah.
Your family and I, and a few other people that have known you in the past, are trying to help you.
No, they're not.
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we are.
That's exactly what I was just saying. Is the fact that like right there, it's like she didn't even think before she spoke. That's just what I'm saying. There's no reasoning when it comes to like someone addicted to drugs, and it's like they'll just burst out something, and then it's like a fat like just blank thought. It's just they didn't even think about it. They just say it like no, they're not. Like no, there's people who care about you. They're trying to help you, and they're trying to put you in a program and try to get you to stop doing drugs and maybe sober up. But Amanda Rabb, it seems like right now she's not in the program and she's on drugs, but they're trying to help her. So this is like the turning point, like right before the turning point.
There's different me's running around here electronic, and I want to know who is doing that. You need to stop.
He says things like he brings Amanda clothes, or he'll try to come and talk to Amanda, and Amanda admits in these videos to running away from Mark. Mark also says something along the lines of, you know, Amanda, Dad and I give you money because we know that you will do whatever you need to do and whatever it takes to get money for crack, and we don't want you to have to expose yourself to all that. So in my opinion, that is Mark Laita admittedly financially enabling a woman who he knows to be suffering with a crack addiction with money in order to buy crack.
Your dad and I give you money to avoid you doing more dangerous things for your addiction that you're gonna do whatever it takes to get your money for crack. So if your dad and I give you a little bit of cash.
Now, not all of Mark's subjects are repeat players. Not all of them come back. It seems to me most of them do not. Amanda came back and appeared on Mark Laita's Soft White Underbelly on March 1st, 2020.
Because I lived with my dad, he turned out to be a molester, so his wife left him.
She appeared again.
BJ investigates. I mean, her theory is valid, but it's like she's only explaining things from like one side point of view. Like she's not saying, well, you know, Mark, he's trying to help her or anything. He's just saying she's enabling her drug addiction, her dad and her. But it's like she literally came out on her YouTube or on Mark Laisha's Soft White Underbelly and dirted her dad. How are you gonna call someone a molester? And that's your own dad. And it's like she's the one on drugs, and who knows what she's been through. She could be the one out here doing like whatever, who knows what. And you know, nobody's on Sci-Fi Underbelly talking mess about her. So it's like I feel like BJ Investigates is kind of more like making up like some theory, but I'm not saying her. It's like I'm not saying she's not valid, but her feelings are valid. I feel like BJ investigates her feelings; they're valid. You could feel that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just not gonna try to explain everything, it's like you're not explaining everything. You're like cutting clips and stuff. Like it's obvious, what some people do, and everyone does it on YouTube when they're trying to target a certain person. And I don't even know much about Lima, but it seems like Lima had her company and she was just trying to experiment. But I feel like they're trying to, where this is leading is they're trying to like wrap it around like Mark Leda and like Lima try to killed Amada Rabb, even though before Amada Rabb went on Soft Underbelly, she was already doing crack. So it's like,
Again for a third interview on April 15th, 2020.
Amanda, do you see that you're kind of getting worse and worse every time we speak?
Then on May 30th, we have Lima doing another YouTube collaboration, this time with a YouTuber named 16 Leo.
This video is in collaboration with 16 Leo.
How exactly does DID happen? So is Aura a result of you trying to help out your sisters?
Yes, actually, Aura was bloomed from a desire to help my sisters, but it also exists to better treatment for all mental health illnesses.
Now, Lima would go on to make various YouTube appearances, and she would talk mostly and predominantly about Aura and her technology.
Hi, I'm Lima Abramovich, and I'm the founder of Autonomous User Rehabilitation Agent, or Aura for short.
She would use the same talking points on each one.
If we put more services, more funding behind mental health services,
kind of seemed like a PR marketing strategy to me. So she would say things like, insurance doesn't cover enough days in rehab.
They go to treatment for 30 days because that's what insurance will cover. It costs about $45,000 per month for somebody to get treatment in a residential facility. It's very expensive, but the relapse rate is 90%. Insurance companies are saying, we're not going to fund 45 when you have such a high relapse rate. If she wasn't cash paying, she would have been released in 2 days from that video.
So she had the same kind of talking points over and over, and she had this virtual reality program that she was marketing to people with substance use disorder, is what she calls it. So by July, Lima already knew about Amanda and was working in concert with Amanda's father, who she called a molester, and Mark Leta, who was paying her, admittedly, knowing to go buy crack with, and they all conspired to make sure that Amanda went to jail. This is what happened. Larry Rabb called Mark Leta. Hello, Mark. Yes, Mark Leta here. Well, how can I help you? Yes, Amanda assaulted me. What do I do? Mark Leta says, you should definitely call the police and get her in jail because that's the only way we're gonna be able to help her. Oh, okay, I'll do that. Thank you, Mark. Okay, cool, let me know how it goes. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. So basically that happened. So then Larry calls 911, calls the police, Amanda gets put in jail. Now listen, do not take this as me excusing criminal activity. I do not. We have a criminal justice system for a reason, and it is based on innocence until proven guilty and fundamental principles like due process of law, being able to hire your own lawyer, not having or being coerced to testify against yourself. So for the criminal justice system, we have a system. It could be better, it could be refined and reformed, but I do believe in it. And I do think that when you commit crimes, and especially when those crimes are harming other people physically, you should have to deal in some capacity with the criminal justice system. So this assault happened in context of a lot of other moving parts, all right? And I would prefer if you just please keep an open mind, stay with me till the end of the story, because I think you might think something different at the end of it. So we have Lima ramping up her social media activity, right? She's doing Dissociate Did, huge YouTubers.
I consider myself being part of a DID system.
My name is Sally. My name is Nina. My name is Jade.
My name is Mara.
Hello everybody, this is Chloe. Welcome back to another video by Dissociated, and today I have Lima here with me.
Lima got Dissociate Did, who has 1 million subscribers, on Lima's channel as her first YouTube video ever.
Oh my god.
Hi everyone. So I work in mixed reality and mental health.
Today you're here to talk about it with me.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lima's doing some really, really exciting things that I think is really going to change the future of mental health and how we treat it, especially in inpatient therapy and speaking with doctors. You've got a lot of people on board, and I really think that what you're doing can make a big difference.
Hi everyone, welcome to my first video with Chloe from Dissociated.
16 Leo, huge YouTuber.
All right, Lima, let me ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
Can you explain dissociative identity disorder?
Dissociative identity disorder, or DID, was previously called multiple personality disorder.
She's got a YouTube channel. Her sisters also are YouTubers who Lima has taken over their social media accounts and is advertising Aura. If you go to Lima's website, meetaura.io, you will see under her press or whatever tab that she still has Amanda up and is advertising using Amanda. Amanda's dead. And also on her website, she has a whole section on a step-by-step procedural process, how you can put your family member into a conservatorship or take over their rights, just like she did to Amanda. So step one on Aura's website, Lima's website, is conservatorship or jail. Step two is detox. Step three, I don't know. I never really stopped being flabbergasted by conservatorship or jail. So she's
I have to stop right there. But one thing I have to say, is to share my opinion is that I feel like the conservationship, the program, the Aura is what it's called. I believe that it is like a little extreme for like a startup company for someone that doesn't have that high of a success rate to have like that type of like slogan like conservationship or jail. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, why are that my only two options? Why, as a human being, why am I limited it to that, just those two things? It's like, no, I get it. You're trying to say you go to rehab or you could continue the cycle that you're going down all the way to jail. But I mean, there's different ways to help people. You know what I mean? Like, just continue being there for them. There's help out there, and some people don't want better for themselves. They'll never just click back into reality, and they can't make their own decisions. But I feel like if you really care about those people, then you're gonna find alternatives to help them. You're not just gonna say, "Well, if you don't do this or a program, we're not gonna help you, and we're just gonna like defame you." And it's like, just make you look like a bad person and post you on my website and exploit you to be like a drug addict. It's like, that's not right. I honestly think that's just, there's different ways to do it. But then she's trying to drag Soft White Underbelly into it, saying, "Oh, they're like partnered up, and her dad, they're like all doing this together." But I honestly think it's just Aura. Like the Aura, it's it's not it doesn't have a high success rate. You haven't heard like, "Oh, Aura's the biggest rehab company in the U.S." or something. Like they're still a startup company, so I don't understand why they're like trying to make it seem like Aura was the reason why she was going back to jail. Like that's not the reason.
telling you in the open, out in the open, that
Okay.
her tactics involve putting someone into a conservatorship or jail, okay? So if you watched the Bam Margera video, you might have said something like, well, how do you know Bam wasn't trying to escape court-ordered treatment? How do you know he didn't choose court-ordered treatment over jail? He might have, because Lima's MO is to force somebody to choose between a conservatorship under her or jail under jail. And I guess most people don't know what a conservatorship is. Lima was telling everyone, these homes, these rehab facilities are so nice. She would go there for a vacation. It's like a luxury facility. You get to play games. Anybody would choose that over jail if that's the two options they were given. But that is not the reality, and that is not what happened. So Lima, Mark, and Larry get Amanda put in jail in Los Angeles. While she's in
This is just all over the place. She said, get her put in jail. Okay, yeah, I wonder what BJ Investigates would do if some crackhead or someone on drugs started like hitting her or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, think about it like that. Like, BJ Investigates. If you were in Larry's shoes, if you were her mother and she started assaulting you, what would you do? You know? If she's trying to make it seem like all three of them it's their fault, but it's like this is just a one-sided story to defame all these people. And I understand it's like for entertainment or whatever to get views, but at the same time, when you look at it from the outside point of view, it's like it's her opinion. It's like she's very one-sided. It's like she has her opinion and she's sticking with it no matter what. She's not going to sit here and be like, well, Mark did help her and they did try to help her. Like, there's no trying to make them look like good person or good people.
In jail, Lima visits her and they talk about the conservatorship, getting out, whatever. August 1st, so that means after Amanda was put in jail, Lima shows up on Soft White Underbelly for the first time to talk about Aura.
Lima Yavramovich. You have a company called Aura. And what do you guys do?
So we're all about data-driven healing.
She talks about starting a scholarship program.
Yes, so I'm actually starting the scholarship program. I just registered a nonprofit called the Abramovich Institute of Behavior and Brain Sciences. And so the reason for that is initially because I work in mental health. I know the industry inside and out when it comes to insurance and facilities.
She is the worst guardian ever. Yeah. I'm sorry.
All of the politics behind it.
She introduces herself, introduces Aura, says what she's about, and then she says to Mark, I'm hoping your viewers will help me to pick someone out to win an Aura scholarship.
They're able to attend an Aura facility, so treatment centers that use our technology receive 3 months of residential care, and then after the 3 months of residential care, they're put into an outpatient program. They go home, so they have a little bit more freedom, but the home is a sober living, and there's a lot of sketchy sober livings out there, but the ones that we work with also have the Aura technology. It costs about $250,000 conservatively.
And then additionally, we'll do you want to do a GoFundMe campaign for this scholarship, right?
That would be incredible.
And then we'll choose somebody to be decided later that you think would be a good candidate for this?
Absolutely.
This is after Amanda was in jail. She might have been in jail during the filming of this.
That'll be somebody that I've interviewed on my channel.
Exactly. And we can do updates with that person.
I wish you the best of luck with it.
Yeah, and so...
sounds incredible.
Well, I'd love to work with you to fill in the first scholarship person from one of the people that you've interviewed. That would be awesome. We can do an update for your guests.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie, Leah, she does seem a little sketch and like it's like something she's hiding behind. Like it's like, come on, you can't be all about that. Like there's no way. Like you practice this. Like it seems like like she practiced saying that. Like does she really care about people's mental health? Like does she really? But Bad Margera, I know there's people like he has a large amount of people that want to help him. So if you can even become his guardian, it's like, I mean, there's something you're not doing right. Like you can't be 100%. There's no way she's 100%. She's like starting. She just said she's starting up her GoFundMe. It's like, no, man. Like you should have enough money raised up from your previous experiments or whatever to have that funds. You're just trying to scam. It seems like a scam. I'm not saying like, I mean, it's a business. Business is business, but from right here, it seems like a scheme. It's like like a real scheme right here.
They didn't think anybody was going to put the timeline together because they would later tell us, and I'll admit in the open, and I have this clip, that they worked together using Lima's expertise. Lima already had the papers. Lima already had the stuff ready.
I'm getting she does not like Mark Leda. Something's telling me she does not like Mark Leda. But hey, BJ Investigates. There's nothing wrong. I mean, everyone has their points of views. Everyone has their other views on life. No one's saying your feelings aren't valid. And it's just the point where if you're gonna post a video about someone, at least don't try to make them look like a bad person. Like state facts. Like don't clip Don't clip anything. Put the whole thing in there. Show what's really going on. Don't try to manipulate people or alter people's realities, because it's like when real people see that stuff, they're gonna see through it. They're gonna say like, "Hey, like, there's no way this is facts. Like, there's no way this is facts. There's no evidence. Like, I understand you put in clips, but that's not evidence. You just clipped what you want people to see."
All work together.
And I thank you, Mark, for introducing me to Lima and Ivan. What a blessing.
Yeah, and then along comes Lima.
On August 1st, Lima comes on Soft White Underbelly for the first time, saying she's gonna start a scholarship program, saying that the viewers are gonna help her pick who's gonna be the one getting the scholarship and all of that.
We'll do you want to do a GoFundMe campaign for this scholarship. We'll choose somebody to be decided later that you think would be a good candidate for this.
Absolutely.
But certainly already knows who she's gonna be picking.
Yeah, and so
sounds incredible.
Well, I'd love to work with you to fill in the first scholarship person from one of the people that you've interviewed. That would be awesome.
Then August 30th, the end of the month, she's talking about treatment plans.
And we talked long and hard about who it could be, and there's lots of people that are good candidates.
And I also asked for comments from your viewers of who they wanted, right? Because the funding is coming from the viewers, and we want to listen to them. And we had an overwhelming response. We can save Amanda's life. She does not want to go to treatment. She doesn't want help.
The same day, while all that's going on, Mark Laita has the audacity to upload a whole nother interview with Amanda. I guess he figured like I should just do another interview with Amanda. I don't know.
Whoever
You're cuter than
they
cute.
real me.
You're so cute. I wish you could get clean and stay clean.
I just wanted to show off my new hairstyles.
Take
Take
off that silly wig.
And
take it off. There's a lot of people that have amazing bodies. It's called the crack diet.
You guys pulled a fast one on me. So, and I don't want no girl close to my age doing my thoughts and video gaming me, so.
She says, among other very disturbing things, I don't want no girl close to my age doing my thoughts and video gaming me. So, nah. I'm not feeling that, but I am thankful. She was already in jail when that video aired, which means she probably knew someone was going to try to video game her and do her thoughts in a virtual reality Skid Row, and she was uncomfortable with that, and she said, nah, I don't want that.
Nah, I'm not feeling it.
And she wouldn't consent to letting Lima video game her. Larry, Mark, and Lima conspired to force her. And it was easier to choose Amanda as the victim of this coerced treatment because they already had Larry Rabb. What do we know about Larry Rabb? We know that Amanda called him a molester.
She never had to engage with strange people as a child. From daycare to school, you know what I mean? So now it's just totally different.
I live with my dad. He turned out to be a molester. So his wife left him.
Whatever Amanda said about her father in that first video, it's a bunch of nonsense. So I just wanted to say that.
So I'm just a little suspicious of what's really going on here. On September 11th, Amanda's still in jail, and Lima and Larry appear again on Soft White Underbelly. So if it's September 11th, 67 days ago would be probably sometime at the end of July. Lima comes on Soft White Underbelly for the first time August 1st. And this is why we do timelines. So Larry, in the September 11th Soft White Underbelly video, says he's been trying to put Amada Rabb into a conservatorship.
We got a call from Mark about Lima.
So last week was very interesting. That was the first week that you've been involved in Amanda's life.
Yes, absolutely.
And Larry, tell me what happened last week.
Last week, early morning, you got to be at court 8:30. 8:30.
And Amanda's in jail.
She's in jail for an assault. We have to petition to try to get conservatorship.
He sings Lima's praises. Thank you, Lima. You are a blessing from God.
And Miss Lima shows up and petitions. Her appearance and her presence made the difference.
She was able to just walk in the court and command that attention, that respect. She had the papers ready to go. Amanda does get put into court-ordered treatment. They were unsuccessful putting her into an LPS conservatorship, thank God, but they just circumvented the system, and the judge released Amanda into Lima's care. And Lima tells us on Soft White Underbelly that she took full responsibility for Amanda's care. Transported, I think they probably detoxed her in LA. So October, the next month, she enters into a treatment facility called Desert Hope Treatment Center. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Like Las Vegas, where it has every substance known to man. But it was an aura treatment facility. And Lima tells us that Amanda's plan is going to include virtual reality exposure therapy.
I'm Brennan Spiegel, Director of Health Services Research for Cedars-Sinai. I could not disambiguate this virtual reality from real reality.
Everything's down to the high level of details. You can even see the track marks on the person's arm right here.
And I realized at that moment that this was a technology that can overwhelm the mind, and it could be used for evil.
The virtual reality that Dr. Phil and Jay McGraw have created to help people when they get out of treatment is incredible.
I do think you can turn this around, and I have some thoughts about this.
All right, so I have to say something. So one thing I know is when there's like a big business and it's like, say for example, I come out with like a new iPhone, right? Or I don't want to say iPhone, but let's use iPhone. So come out with the first ever phone, right? And I'm gonna I just invented that, and it's my company, and I call it like the pear phone, the water phone, whatever. I want to get all these rich people to talk about it, and I feel like that's what the rich people are doing with the virtual reality therapy or just the VR therapy. It's like they're all trying to say, "Oh, this is the new thing that's coming out." It hasn't even been around for like the last 10 years, but this is like the first year, and I want to recommend you use it. I want to promote it on my TV show, like how example like Dr. Phil's doing right now. He's like, oh, like he's about to say, oh, I'm about to try to um, I want to refer you to like doing exposure therapy. Is like that's their whole thing. They want to get these companies that they're investing in because they think it's a good idea, and they're going to promote it everywhere because they want all the rich people to get rich off of it, and that's just how it works. And it's like they're trying to get all these people to try this new VR therapy, and it doesn't have a success rate. It doesn't have. They're not showing any results out of this. They're just trying to throw it out there into the world and see if it makes a lot of money, if it blows up or whatever.
Yes, I asked some people to come here today. You all know what virtual reality is, right? When you put on goggles and wherever you look, you feel like you are right there in the moment. I've created a...
This is kind of remind me of like the NFT thing. Like when NFTs first came out, who'd you see buying them? All these rich people. Oh, they're selling for like millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, or virtual, what is it? Virtual currency, Bitcoin. It's like all this, oh, it just came out. Hey, let's just get all these people to buy into it. Next thing you know, it blows up, right? It might blow up. It has that chance because all these investors, they have a lot of money, and all these companies, they're investing in it. So it's like it might blow up, but then it's gonna have like a downfall. Like all that stuff, like NFTs, they went down. Bitcoin, it's still like up there, but it's still like it hasn't moved since. Like it's just like at a standpoint. It's at a standstill right now. But the virtual reality one, I mean, it's already out there, and so many people are talking about the metaverse. This has just seemed like the metaverse, in my opinion. This is literally just what they've been talking about for the last 5 years. Oh, it's the metaverse. It's like you go in there in virtual reality, you see streamers, they use the VR, and it's like they're in the metaverse because you choose a character and you're in a world with other people, which is this going to lead. This is exactly what it's going to lead into. Is there's going to be like a whole bunch of people in the metaverse in virtual reality, and they're going to be all together like they're in the real world, but it's not the real world. It's just for their own feeling, and it's been in the movies. It's in everything. It's literally like we could be doing virtual reality metaverse in the next year if this blows up and takes over, because so many rich people are already hip to it that they could mass produce it.
Virtual reality tool to help that transition go smoothly and prepare for triggers, because I know people can be stars in rehab. It's transitioning out, and I'm trying to create a virtual reality tool to help people do that.
There's just a new way of tweaking the mind to become sort of super better in essence.
Virtual reality exposure therapy, Lima says it is unethical and illegal to put the drug of choice in front of someone who you are treating in a residential treatment facility.
For example, if you're in a treatment facility and I put your drug of choice in front of you, that would be extremely unethical. It's not allowed, right?
She said it is illegal. You can use pictures, she said, but it's illegal and unethical. And laughs. That would be unethical. Laughs. Like how funny it is that it's unethical.
It would be extremely unethical. It's not allowed, right? There's no drugs on the premises. If I can put that drug of choice in front of you, just the visual of it, it's not the same as me showing you a photo, but being able to put you in a room through our virtual reality technology, being able to put you in a room where you essentially are by yourself, right? So now I'm able to test you because it's the power of VR.
She said she's worked with a man who said his rock bottom is him alone on the couch with a bottle of alcohol, and so she created an environment that looked like a living room and a bottle of alcohol, and this man put it on. So I'm not saying that's illegal. I believe it's unethical because I think showing someone a picture of a drug of choice is like a degree of extrapolation, right? It's less concrete than a virtual reality simulation. I think that should absolutely be federally regulated, that you should not be able to just toss an unconsenting person into a triggering exposure environment. But that is not what the law says right now. So this is where we are. And Lima admits to using virtual reality to trigger people with PTSD and to trigger cravings in people struggling with addiction.
We also use virtual reality so we can put patients in triggering environments.
Amanda enters into Desert Hope Treatment Center, an ARA facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, interestingly, Lima posted a picture of the treatment center that Amanda was supposed to go to and never corrected the record and said that's not where she was. And it's not Desert Hope. There's a lie. And people get upset when I call Lima a liar because she has this sweet affect and she doesn't seem like evil. She's got this nice little soft voice and she seems to be, saying all the right dog whistle words, and she's, addicts and homeless and prostitution, and she uses all these scary words that get you in a state of upset. Ooh, girl, chill out. And then she offers you a solution, and so you're like, oh my God, make this trauma stop. So she must be telling the truth. I operate in one.
BJ Investigates does have a good point there. It's like some people try to butter up and soothe you into thinking it's all manipulation at that point. It's all like people practicing things that they're going to say. And she's right. So a lot of people do put on an image just to portray that they're being the helper or like the savior at some point. Like she's trying to make it seem like, oh, you know, all these other companies, they're using all these chemicals and putting all this stuff in your food, this and that. So I came out with grass-fed beef. It's like, like you're trying to make it seem like grass-fed beef is like gonna make me healthier. It's not gonna make me healthier. It's just the fact that it doesn't contain all these things.
An absolute thing, and that is truth. Lima didn't tell the truth. Now we've caught her in 2 lies so far on the timeline. First of all, that the audience was somehow going to help pick Amanda.
As I've said before, she was the worst case you could find on Skid Row.
Yeah, definitely. And
took a lot of courage for you to-
probably the worst case I've ever seen personally.
It took a lot of courage for you to decide that she was the one you wanted to try to help.
Yeah, but we have a lot of confidence in what we do.
That was not true. Amanda was hand chosen because they had the cooperation of Larry Rabb. You need a family member. Number 2 lie we've now found. Lima said Amanda was going to be at a treatment facility that Amanda was not at. She was at Desert Hope Treatment Center. That is where she was. That is where she took her last.
Right there, she actually looks like she's getting better. I mean, in my opinion, like if from when she was, on drugs, it seems like look at her. I mean, I just told you at the beginning of the video, when people are on drugs, they don't have the rational. They're like dissociated from reality, and they don't have like, it's like they lie to themselves. So it's like they can't control themselves. They don't have the urge to help themselves. You see people, if you go to Skid Row right now, who knows, you might come across somebody on crack and they just don't feed themselves. They don't dress themselves. They don't shower and stuff. Like, you got to think about that. And the fact that it's like there's someone, even if her aura, her company isn't like 100%, it doesn't have a high success rate. There is a point. There is like a possibility that it could have helped Amanda in a great way. And I know this is leading up to like, oh, they're responsible for her death, but let's see where this goes.
Breath. It wasn't the one that Lima posted on Instagram. Doesn't seem like necessary to have lied about that, but here we are. And so if y'all are upset by the word lie, maybe repeat it each day to expose your therapy yourself to it. I don't know. The end of 2021, Amanda spends in Desert Hope Treatment Center from October all the way through May when she died. So, except she did check out one day, we'll get to that. January 7th, coming to an end according to Lima's 30 to 90 days. If you entered into treatment in October, Lima told me that insurance only covers 30 to 90 days in rehab. If Amanda entered rehab around October, January 7th, Mark Leta makes his very first Instagram post ever, and it is a fundraiser for Amanda. Interestingly, this is around the time that Albert Minero Jr. enters into the story.
The people trust me. They know I'm one of them, just an everyday guy with a passion and a purpose.
Albert Minero Jr. is the program director for ARA, but a quick Google search will show you that he is also a very prolific actor.
Anson is a nerd-a-paloozer, bro. When chicks see him, they get dry.
He has been in Hollywood for at least 10 or 15 years.
We're back with my new buddy, Albert, who's looking for me to help him get relationship ready.
What do you think a woman is thinking when she walks in to see your dirty drawers sunny side up on the floor?
I feel like this is way deeper than I thought it would be. Like, we just got introduced to like a new character, pretty much, like a new person, and it's already towards the end of the video. So this is kind of like, now I gotta learn about them. But it is interesting. It's educational, but I'm not taking it as facts. I mean, okay, yeah, you do have a good theory, and I mean, you have some proof. I'm not saying it's pure. I'm not saying it's like a whole bunch of facts, but you put your video together really well and it makes sense. I would see how it makes sense to the viewer that your point of view is the right point of view, but on the other hand, I mean, it's easy to kind of say, oh, it's their fault because they were the last people that were with them, or last people experimenting with them before she passed away. Rest in peace, Amada Rabb. And I just want to say, like, it's sad because that's kind of what's going on. It's like she's already passed away, so it's like she didn't make this video before Amada Rabb passed away. It was after the fact. So she like made it where this is all targeted towards her death, and it seems like a documentary that's like a mystery, like a mysterious deaths or missing person documentary or something. So I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. You can't believe everything you see. So
Haven't had any here for a while.
The goal is to get some here.
Yeah.
I want you to keep that in mind.
Okay.
No undies on the floor.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
Something's wrong with his mind.
Okay.
So what? Does he even know what he was turning
This is
on?
not a tag team event. One of you speaks and the other doesn't, and that's how it works. In my courtroom, you are under oath, which means you do not lie and you tell the truth.
He's appeared in Lima.
Okay, we get it. Like, he's an actor, but like she's not saying like it's just like she could have not added any of this stuff and just said, yeah, he's an actor. Put like a clip of him acting, but she's just continuing to put videos. BJ Investigates, you do a good job. You're doing great. I love your video and how it's structured, your timeline. You have a good way of explaining your thoughts, but just if you could make a video on like facts and results and put statistics and put some numbers in there, it'll make your whole theory like way more believable. And I'm not choosing sides. I'm not saying, oh, this person's right, this person's wrong. I'm just saying, like, as a viewer watching this, I mean, I could see how some people would be like super manipulated into being like, oh yeah, you're right, you're 100%. But I mean, some people are just gonna watch this and say like, well, like, I know what this is leading up to. It's like before you watch a movie and you're watching the beginning, like you already know what's gonna happen at the end, like type.
Abramovich's twin sister's YouTube videos. He's appeared in Instagram stories of Bam Margera's wife, Nikki. Bam Margera's brother-in-law has featured Albert Manera Jr. on his channel, but he also happens to be the program director of ARA. In January, when Mark Laita was posting on Instagram trying to raise funds for Amanda's treatment, it's also the same month Albert Manera Jr. would have met Amanda.
Amanda, you coming into my life had such a humongous effect that I could never have known when I first met you.
March 2021, Lima goes on the Meet Ara Instagram account and announces that her twin sisters, who both allegedly have dissociative identity disorder, not sure who's telling us that.
My sisters, who are identical twins, have had some mental health struggles. They were diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, which is more commonly known as multiple personality disorder.
In February, Lima announces on her Meet Ara Instagram account that her sisters will start using Ara technology in March 2021. So March 2021, the sisters are being used as guinea pigs for the Ara virtual reality exposure therapy. She credits them with being the reason why she even knows about all this stuff in the first place, because her sisters have been in and out of behavioral health centers and inpatient, outpatient, whatever. So she says that's how she learned how to navigate the whole system of it all. April, the next month, Lima is in Las Vegas, which is where Amanda went to rehab and where Amanda was in rehab still at the time, April 2021. And then Lima posts a video on Ara's Instagram that shows Amanda using the virtual reality exposure therapy.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Oh! Oh my God!
Amanda. There's a bottle of alcohol, it's Skid Row, you're kind of in the headset with her. As if that's not dystopian enough. When you peer up on the virtual reality, you see a billboard of Bam and Nikki Margera on the side of a virtual reality building. And it's like, thanks for backing our company, blah, blah, whatever, whatever.
So Bam and Nikki Margera, you probably know them from Jackass. They were so moved by Amanda's story that they've pledged to help support this publicly and help me fundraise for Amanda and for the scholarship to help raise more money. So in order to say thank you to them, our team has a bunch of virtual cities inside our virtual reality system. So we made a billboard for them, and that was on the Skid Row experience that we put Amanda in.
Same month, Lima posts again on Instagram thanking Bam and his wife Nikki for supporting Ara. And then on April 17th, Lima posts another video on the Ara YouTube applying for grants. In January, they were asking audience for money. He had 2 GoFundMe's going. I think maybe 3 were going in total. I think that she probably was trying to get money from Bam and Nikki. And that brings into question whether that is ethical or appropriate for someone who is basically an investor in your business, and now you put them under a conservatorship. Like, I don't know about the actual laws behind that, but that doesn't seem appropriate, that you could be someone's guardian or conservator and they have purchased a stake in your business. So all that's going on in April, and then wouldn't you know, May 9th, Mother's Day, last year, 2021, Amada Rabb was found dead in her bed, face down in a messy, disheveled room at like 9:30 in the morning.
They did the autopsy, they looked at her medical records. And so I'm just gonna read it word for word of what we got. The cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder.
What the fuck? Oh!
Myself and the investigation team have requested Amanda's autopsy report.
Okay. Wait. All right. So just talking about that. So I would say, yeah, that's a good video, very educational, informational. And I just want to say this is BJ Investigates video, and it's about Amada Rabb and her story, etc.
Johnson, why are you naked?
And
Because my t-shirt sucks.
I just want to say like that I could see where this is going, and like, comment, and subscribe if you want me to watch the To Be Continued. I just want to say, like, I'm just a viewer. This is my first time watching this, learning about Amada Rabb. So if you'd like to share your opinions, please let me know. If there's something that I missed or something that you'd like to speak about, feel free to comment in the comment section and let me know. Request any videos that you want me to watch. Recommend something. I'd appreciate it. But this is a recommendation by one of the viewers on the channel. So I just want to say thank you. This was interesting. I can see why this is like a big topic, and thank you. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe.